everybody, welcome to Steph and Cat Talk WOW, and we are back with another interview for a fabulous Black Magic girly from WOW, Ashley Blaze. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. It's cold here, but I am well.
It's cold here too, so I feel you. It is snowing and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm glad when winter will be over. I don't like the summer either, but I really don't like the winter, so it's like, give me the spring.
Okay. You're like, I'm in between for sure.
Spring. So thank you so much for coming on. Happy Black History Month. This is super awesome to
Happy
have you
Black History
on.
Month to you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I was actually really excited. As I've said so many times with WoW, there's so many awesome women in WoW, so many different boxes. But you in particular, I was aware of you from your time in NXT. So how was, joining WoW? What was the defining moment for you where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try out WoW? And how is that locker room different from other places you may have wrestled?
Yeah, so it's funny because right before I went to WoW, I in my head was like, done wrestling, don't care. Like I've pretty much like when I wrestle, I have this like thought process, and when I do it, I'm like, okay, that's all I need. I'm good. And it took me some time after surgery and like the mental health issues to really like get my confidence back. So I was on the indie show, and my friend Randy Rah Rah, like you guys have talked about multiple times, she talks about WoW so much. And I remember like being at her house and we would watch episodes of WoW. And she's like, yeah, just reach out to David, see if you can get on the show, like kind of see if you can do some backstage stuff. Message him. I'm telling you, right place, right time. He was like, I'd love for you to come out. We'll have one match. We'll talk after, see how you like it. I'm telling you, I walked into that locker room, sisterhood. You can't tell me like there is this many women in one space and we all get along. Like granted, sisters fight, we bicker. There's like the not so nice sisters, and then there's the sweet sisters. So we have those, but it was one of those really welcoming, opening arm locker rooms. And once I saw that and, went out there, had that match against the class master, I fell in love and I had that fire and that drive in wrestling again that I was like, yep, this is my home. I feel it.
Oh, great. I love that. Yeah, that's something I feel like there's not a lot of women promotions, all women promotions. Like we might have
Yes.
divisions that have women divisions that are good, but a fully women promotion where it's just different women, different types of styles of wrestling, different characters, different gimmicks. And that's something I'm always super, me and Stephanie always says like this is so awesome with WoW, which is the amount of what we get to see on TV and everything. And so was you mentioned as far as the mental health, and it's something I always tell people that's so important. And I feel like especially this day and age when it's like the social media, and I think social media can definitely heighten those with mental health issues or any like anxiety or depression, whatever it may be, because of social media. And people are not always nice on social media. I know people
Yeah.
use the space to be kind of rude sometimes. So what are some things you do as far as even getting yourself back to wrestling, but like when you just kind of need to decompress and kind of give yourself some self-care time? What are things you do?
So there's one thing that I do that I'm working on, I guess getting a little bit better at, because it's not me reading comments, but I do this thing called mindless scrolling. And it's like where it comes to like the TikTok or the Instagram videos, where I find videos that I don't have to think. It's just I watch them. So it's like, hair tutorials, or it's like people speaking, or it's like those dog videos, and it's just me consistently scrolling. So that's something that I feel like I watch all the time. I go out in nature, I walk my dog all the time. So that's something that um helps me with my brain, like me mentally thinking. I go to the gym. I just started going to the gym a lot more lately just because, being from the mental health and from the surgery, I kind of just I was feel like I was forcing myself to go to the gym, and I've realized that's something that we have to stop doing is stop forcing things to happen. Just like control what you can control. And once I accepted that, then it was more of the, life's okay, life's gonna be fine. Don't read comments, just do you, and people are gonna speak and talk however they want, no matter what you do. So that's kind of something that helps me a lot. Plus, just like put the phone down, put on some music, freaking scream and sing and dance in your house, and everything's fine.
I love that. I don't know why my video, I'm so sorry, it keeps cutting out. But I love that. I do. I have to get better at doing mindless scrolling. I feel like a lot of times I see something and I'm laughing at memes mostly because I'm definitely a person who laughs at memes and reels. Like if it's funny, I'm laughing and I'm sharing it to like 20 people. Freaking stay like that because it's really funny. So I'm trying to get better at mindlessly scrolling because sometimes I'll get like put in a little rabbit hole. And it's not necessarily bad stuff, it's just kind of scrolling like, oh, okay, and now I'm like being nosy a little bit and let me see this. And now I'm like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I probably didn't need to do all this
You know
because
how
of
the
one
page you
video.
never found out about? You're just like, how did I get 6 pages in? Like, what is happening?
And so like 10 accounts because I'm like clicking on different things to see what was going on. So I definitely do that a lot on social media. I'm trying to be better at just mindlessly, but I do like that kind of semi removing yourself from what could be very negative at times. And so part of your bio on WoW is like you are an athlete. You do a lot of sports. I am not a sports girly. And so so I
I'm
sports
heartbroken.
like I used to do track and honestly I was decent, but like for me in high school it was like you have to get here at 7. I was like 7.
Ugh.
Yep. And so I went like I'll go back to doing what I my little book stuff. I like my books and like being in the background. And so it says you did like volleyball and gymnastics and basketball. So is there like one you liked more than the other? What are some things that you enjoyed about doing those sports and incorporating that into your wrestling character?
Yeah, so we'll talk about the sports that I've done. And it's funny you said track because I forgot I did track. But like I think I forgot because like I don't like running. Like I really, really like running is not my vibe. Like if I have to run, it's like, oh, like I sweat, I'm out of breath, this sucks. Which is weird coming from an athlete, but like the sport that I kind of stuck to the most in my career was volleyball. I found it when I was I'd say like the YMCA days. So like I was like what 7 or something, and then played it all the way up through high school. But through that, I did do track. I did basketball, baseball, cheerleading, gymnastics, soccer. Like I really did everything. And I think when it comes to like my wrestling style, one of my coaches told me, and it was like a slap in the, it's like one of those slap in the face comments where you're like, thank you. Because he was like, you move faster than you look. And I was like, okay, like, is that good? He's like, no, just because you're so tall and so long, like, I don't picture you like speeding up that fast. And ever since he said that, it sticks in my brain and it makes me feel good to be like that athlete of like, oh, I'm tall but skinny. You don't know what I can do. Game on.
No, that's
Yeah.
always a comment I would have been like, yeah, I would have been like a little bit like, wait a minute, like, is this good or bad? I'm not sure. Um,
It's like pause. Let's talk about this.
would you say learning to like, I guess, do the wrestling aspect, was it harder than doing the other sports you do? Or was it pretty easy because you already have the athletic background?
I think it was on the easier side because I've already like had the athletic background. So like I know like things hurt. I know like new muscles have to be built and the mechanics, like my body can like see something and be like, okay, I can do that. Or tell me how that is done so I can do it. But I think it was I'm as the female that I am, I never really did like impactful sports. So getting hit by a body or like my body being thrown around was so new to me. That was the painful part. So like running, flipping, like the step up moonsault that I did with Genesis, I don't flip over my head. Like I stopped gymnastics when I was like 6, 7. So I was just doing cartwheels and all that other like baby stuff. And my coach was like, get to the second rope and like backflip. I was like, okay. I was like, but I don't want to do it for me. She's like, no, 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 just listen to me. Get there, flip. I did it. And she goes, okay, I get to the top. I was like, this is high. I don't know if I want to do this. But then after that, I did the run up and moonsault, and it was completely fine. So I think it's more like mental than it is physical. But that the fact that I have the physical aspect, it's easy for me to say, like, okay, I down here can do it. It's this saying that like you can do it. So that's how I guess if that answers it fully for you.
It does. No, I
Okay.
definitely, no, I definitely, anybody who does like wrestling, I always tell people like I took one bump just to kind of see what it felt like, and I was like, so no, this is fine. Like, I can go back to doing my like backstage stuff and commentary. That's fine. I don't need to be doing wrestling. That's not my lane. So I always think anybody who can do anything or any movesault or flipping off anything is always like, yes. I mean, to be fair, a lot of my wrestlers I like were high flying type wrestlers anyway. So
Yeah.
like doing good crazy stuff that I won't do, but I'm like, yay, like you're doing it. So that's I like that you was like semi afraid, but once you did it, you was like, all right, I got this. I love that. I feel like that's super
Yeah.
important to kind of just push yourself sometimes. And so, what are some things that you've had some awesome matches already in WoW, but are there any women in the locker room that you want to wrestle, or is there any goals you have for yourself in WoW?
Yes. So first goal instantly. I'm sure you guys know this from the recaps you guys do on WoW. My first goal is to take out top tier because we ain't having that. I refuse. And then the fact that it happened during Black History Month, I was like, okay, sis, clocked it, got you. Like, right? So for me, like games aside, like I'm coming after top tier. Like I will pull them out one by one if I have to. I will take the goal for myself to have it when Tara comes back. Like I'm game over. It's personal. You lit that fire. Now you got to put it out. But good luck, right? So that's one thing that I can say is a goal for me in 2025 is I don't even care if it's all of them. I'm taking out at least one. Um, and then a goal for a match that I would love to have would be Santana. I've watched Santana through like most of her career, just like everywhere she's been, and she is someone that I definitely want to have a match with because I know her moveset so well and I know her so well that I feel like it's a good challenge for me because it's going to make her bring out things that she doesn't do or she hasn't done in so long. So that's going to be something that fingers crossed I can get that match. But obviously, a girl wants some gold. I haven't had much gold in my career, so that's something. So class can she's fine now because I have other things top tier to deal with. But when I'm done with those girls, I'm coming after the champion.
Yes, we are all for it. Yes, go.
All for
I've been saying that all month, like any inconvenience. I'm like during Black History Month, like how dare you? Any
I'm
inconvenience.
like, how? Like, I get it. You want to beat people up, but I was like, you couldn't have waited like 2 weeks. Okay. I was like, game on. Game on. I love it. I was like, I love a fight. Let's go.
No, I'm definitely with that because I'm like, yes, any inconvenience. I'm like, like, can we wait like a little bit, just a tad, just give me a
Yeah.
couple minutes.
It's funny because it's like, in the wrestling, like, you don't think about it. It'd be after the fact where it'd be like, Tara went to the hospital. She got like bandaged up. And I'm like, you're right. It is February 18th. I was like, oh, okay. How dare you? Like we're making things up in our brain. Love it.
What is something I feel like, again, it is Black History Month, but in particular, I always say Black women as a whole, whatever we do, we gotta always be on our A game. We gotta always be like damn near perfect. We are very allowed mistakes at times where it's like very little wiggle room. We have to always be just on it. And so what is something I guess that's like important for you in wrestling as a Black woman? And then what do you love about me? I feel like we're great, Black girl magic every day. But
Hey,
like,
hashtag.
what is something you love about being a Black woman? Like, what is something that's like, oh, I love this about us, about me?
So one thing that I can say I love about like us as Black women and about me personally is the fight that we have in this. Like, it's one of those things of I don't think that we were taught to fight. We were born to fight. And that's something that when I got older, I realized and I was like, I'm stronger than I could have ever imagined. Like every day we have to go through something, right? And it's like with our hair, with our skin complexion, with the way that we look, with like I can't go out to the grocery store and look at someone crazy because we're Black women, right? It's like it's automatically a thought process or a thing. So it's a lot of more how do I want to put this? It's because it's not harder. I don't want to say because we make it look pretty dang easy. Let's be real, but it's something that a lot of people don't have to worry about that we have to worry about. And I think that's what I love about us, and that we are so diverse with everything that we do when it comes to sports, when it comes to looks, when it comes to talent. That it's like you really can't stop us. Like if we set our mind to it, and that goes for like any women, like in general, like if you set your mind to it, you can do it. But I feel like the fire that we have, it's like not that anyone can do it. It's like I'm going to do it. I can do this, and that's something that I love. Especially like when you see someone do it, you're like, yes, queen, let's go. Like let's go, sis. You got it. And it's very, it's a built-in sisterhood that we're like born into, which I absolutely love. So that's something that I'm happy about, and I'm happy that with Roxy and Foxy, like the first time I met those girls, it was instant like we're here. And I think that's something that as the Black community we have that's really good is like no matter what, we see you and we're like, I see you, I'm proud of you, I love you. And that's, I don't know, I love it. Like the older I get, the more I'm like, yes, Black girl magic, let's queen, let's go. Like we got it. So it's something you got to grow into. But I love when you find that confidence in yourself and in other women that you're like, you did it, we did it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love Foxy. When we got to, me and Steph got to meet her, I want to say 2023. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, girl, you're even more beautiful in person. Like, I was just excited just to like meet her. Like, and I love that she had like her hair the way it was. And I'm like, that is something, even though I'm a relaxed girly, but like, I always like seeing different types. I feel like we are so versatile. It's something we can do. It's like, it's no matter what it is we're wearing or how we have our hair or how we have makeup, or if we don't wear makeup, whatever the case may be, we are so
Mm-hmm.
versatile. And I love that about
Yes.
Black women. And I definitely agree as far as being resilient because I feel like we gotta always kind of be mindful about things, but still
Mm-hmm.
try to be unapologetically ourselves. So
Yes.
that is
Yes.
definitely something I do appreciate, and that's like that. I love that there's like quite a few Black women now in WoW than even before, and I'm like yes because there's so many different versions, like different types of Black women there,
Mm-hmm.
and still that you guys can see that there's some togetherness, but also there's different versions, and I like that. I like
Yeah.
the we're not in a box. I feel like that's the way I want to say that.
Yeah. No, no, no. That's a good way to put it. As far as like we're not all being put into like this category. Like for then I think that's why I love WoW so much. Is like when I went, I wasn't like this is you. It was like okay, wrestle, go wrestle first. Okay, this is who you are by who you wrestle. It's not just like you look like this. This is who you are, and that's why the first time I met Foxy and Roxy, I was like, I heard you coming from down the hallway. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, your beats were just clacking. And that's what I feel like the first conversation all of us had. And I don't know, I love the girls. I really do. Like I said at the beginning, having a locker room and then not having like drama like that, you would have never thought. And that's something that I was like, this is my home. This is what makes me happy. This is what I love. So like I can thank Randy Rob 100% for getting me the connection to come to WoW. Because without her, I wouldn't be here. Without David and Selena, I wouldn't be here. But I plan on, just saying, sticking around as long as they'll have me. Like I don't plan on going nowhere at all.
Love it. Yes, I definitely like that energy, but I also like again that you are stressing just how important it is to have a sister. Because yes, it can be unfortunately you want to be women to be happy and bonding and sunshine and rainbows, but it's not always like that. And sometimes women
Oh,
can be catty. And so it's always good when you're in a space where they're not really like that. And it's like even if you don't get along all the time, well, you don't always get along with your siblings or your
right.
friends even all the time. And so that's fine. I feel like that's good to have just that kind of level of just okay, we got each other in that space. Um, when for you, because I feel like most people who wrestle, sometimes it's like you kind of got in really late, but then you wanted to wrestle and it worked. But for you,
Mhm.
like, how was it like when you decided who was that wrestler for you that you're like, oh man, I need to wrestle as well. I need to do something like this person. Who was that person for you that you're like, oh my God, I have to watch this person wrestle and do what they do on TV, or not even if it's on TV, at a show in person or whatever.
Mhm. So I feel like for me personally, it was it. So I have like this one person that everybody knows, like I'm a huge fan of. Like I don't care where I'm at in life. Like Foxy, Alicia Fox is my girl. Like love her. The Black girl magic. Like it's nice to have that. And I think for me, like right now, there's so many Black women that you can like look up to. But for me, that's all I had at the time. So she was a big part of me. But then like I have so many friends on the independent circuit in wrestling now that like I look up to and that I can say, I want to do this. But the person that kind of got me into it, because I had just like I wouldn't say just graduated high school, but it was like that like awkward year where like I didn't go to college. So like I was so young to do sports. I was like 18, 19. And my cousin was like the biggest wrestling fan. So he's actually the one that got me into an independent wrestling school. So once I saw that, it was just like that drive of like being an athlete, knowing that it's past college, which is what drove me into wrestling. That was like the first sport that I knew, hey, you can get on TV. Hey, you can kind of make money from this. Hey, you can be inspiration. And also like you can be whatever age you want. Now, seeing the kids now who are like 16 wrestling, I'm like, dang, I wish I would have knew you could have wrestled at 16. But it goes back to my confidence in my life of being like, hey, if I was 16 and started, I may not have done what I've done. I may not have ended up in WOW. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I think my cousin, but I just think the women that I met in my life throughout that time, like in wrestling and outside of wrestling, because, getting that how do I put it? Getting that like acknowledgement from women, even outside of wrestling, was nice to be like, oh, you do that? That's so cool. Oh, you look too skinny to do that. You do that? Let me see a video. And it just made me want to fight and wrestle more because I was like, yeah, you think I'm small, but I do that. I kick butt all the time. Like when I beat Scout Parker, I had so many people being like, she picked up Scout Parker. I was like, y'all, I'm strong. Okay? Like I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm quick, I'm like agile, I can flip when I want to. Let's put that out there. Yeah, whatever. When?
No, I love that, and I think a lot of people I said about Alicia Fox in particular, like I loved her Northern Lights um bridge that she did, and I
Mhm.
felt like probably the best I've ever seen, and I feel like she doesn't get her flowers enough. I feel like yes, I'm a skinny gal too. I'm short, but I'm skinny, and so like to see
Yeah.
the skinny gals, I'm like yes. I'm
Let's
like
go.
extra happy
Yeah.
when I see things. So I'm like, yeah, you're like small, like in like frame wise as I am. I mean, I'm really
Mhm.
tiny as well because I'm not tall. I
Yeah.
just skip past me all the way, but like but like I am skinny, and so like that whole like anytime I get to see women who are also thin or thinner, it's like yay because we're already like, oh, can you even do this? Because it's always
Right.
that weird thing, and I'm like, but we can do things. Just
Just
let
let
us
us
be, let
yeah.
us be. Um, what are some hobbies that you have outside of like the gym, but also outside of wrestling? That's just like, oh, this is just something I like to do on my downtime or my free time.
So honestly, it's not a lot. Like I kind of just lately I've just been like to myself, like again, mindlessly scrolling, which I need to get better at. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, girl. But I would say just like nature, like being outside. Like I have a French bulldog, so like walking my Frenchie outside is nice. Like I have this park like 10 minutes from my house, and it has like deer and snakes and stuff. I am not a snake girl, so anyone that's hearing this, I'm not a snake girl, but they're out there. So just being like out there with like my phone in my pocket and just like listening to nature is really nice to me. I love a good museum. Like I'm a dinosaur girl, like which sounds weird because like I won't say like I have dinosaurs at my house. Like I love elephants, so I love the zoo. But like here we go. I'm a Jurassic Park girly. So museums and stuff like that, like zoos, I love. I love, love, love. So those are things that I'm very much into. I guess I'm a summer girl because like roller coasters, the zoo, outside, summer, anything summer-esque. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll say that. I'll end with that. That's all I got.
No, I think that's great. I love museums as well. I'm definitely a museum girly. I love the zoo. So I definitely can see how that's just kind of a moment, just like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, just kind of
Yes,
chill at the museum and go to the zoo, look at the animals, which is always fun. So if you're cool with doing a quick speed round,
I love these. I thrive on these.
we're
Yes, you get me.
we're gonna do a quick little speed round. So I ask you a question, you tell me the first thing that pops in your head when I ask. So first question, what is the last snack you had to have? Like the one snack, it's like this is the one thing I always have to have in my bag, at home, at the gym.
Gummy bears.
Nice, love gummy bears. What is the last song you had on repeat?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hmm. So you know the song Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter?
Yes.
Okay, but there's a guy named William Singh who sings it, and that song is everything. Also, any song from the Super Bowl from Kendrick Lamar is on my playlist right now. I'm obsessed. Every time I get in my car, every time I go to the gym, Peekaboo, Squabble Up, Not Like Us, all of those. That's it. That's the one.
Nice.
Fun.
Yes, I'm gonna check out the version of Espresso because I do know the song. My kid likes that song. And so I'm like, sometimes kids run things to the ground.
Yes,
You're
yes.
like, oh, give me a minute. But I'm definitely gonna check that out because I always like hearing different artists do different songs.
It's
What?
so good. Like even my boyfriend was like, that's better than the original version, which I love Sabrina. She's great, but like hearing a different tone of it, you have to listen to it. It's so good.
I definitely will check that out. What is the last show you binge watched?
The challenge on MTV.
Ah, nice. One of my closest friends love the challenge. She be arguing like with people, not like actually arguing with people. Like you could tell she's watching it because she's like tweeting and she's like, "What is this?" And she's
Yeah.
tweeting back like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
they're stressing me out." Like she'd be so stressed, and I'm like, "Girl, are you all right?" She'd be so
I'm
upset.
like, I'm not okay. No, I'm not okay. How dare Johnny Bananas do this to like it's a whole I love that show and I am like 8 episodes in because I just been watched it 2 days ago.
Nice. Yeah, I have watched a few episodes, but I feel like I can always know what's going on because she's always, when she's watching it, she's in it. She's like, this is happening, and then she's stressed, and I'm like, girl, are you all right? And she's like, maybe, maybe not, but it's the show, and I'm like, I see, it's just the vibes. It's a lot. I see.
It's an addiction. It really is. It's an addiction.
Would you consider yourself like a morning bird or a night owl?
Night owl. Night owl. For
Okay,
sure. Yes.
okay.
Yes. I hate waking up in the morning.
I feel like
Not me.
I feel like I can stay up late, but also I'm always up early too, so I don't even know where that fits for me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm up. Like, I'm up.
No. Nope. No. No. If I don't have anything to do, I'm sleeping till 1 p.m.
I wish it's the joy. I wish I never sleep past a certain time. Like, body, why? Just let me sleep.
No. Never for me. I'm good.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, this just changed recently. Can I? Okay, I don't have a favorite. Can I tell you my top three?
Yes.
Okay, so my top three would be Jurassic Park movie, John Wick, and then Columbiana.
Nice.
Those
John
are my
Wick is
movies.
definitely, I always say that's my favorite Keanu Reeves movie because he's just kicking a lot of butt. And I'm like, yes,
It's so
yes.
good. And then like it's funny because he does like this one wrestling move in it, and I was like, I need to learn that. And that's like really, I was like, yeah.
I definitely peeped. I feel like wrestling people always peep when wrestling moves are usually like, I know this move. I know this.
A lot takeover. I can do that too.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
um, I would have oh my gosh, what is it called? Um, I'm like brain farting now. What is it like teleportation?
Yeah,
I'm
like
always
Nightcrawler, because I think he teleports, right? Nightcrawler X-Men.
yeah. I want that because like
Nice.
I just there's places I want to be all the time, and sometimes I don't want to drive. I just want to snap my fingers and go.
Yeah, that's definitely something I wouldn't mind because I'm like, I don't have to get on a plane. I don't have to get on a bus or something. Okay.
Nothing. I'm gonna go to Alaska. Cool, Alaska. Yay!
If you got stuck on an island and you could only bring three things, what three things would you bring?
My dog. Chapstick. Always need chapstick. And then I would bring. That's a good question. A pineapple? Would I bring a pineapple? No, I bring no, because there'll be apples on the island. What am I saying? Oh. Okay, my dog, chapstick. um, I would bring. I'm thinking. I'm really thinking. This is hard. That's a hard one. Um, I would juice.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Whatever food you can bring, you would think. I feel like we always forget whether you have to do it. Like, man, what would I bring? And then you get stressed by trying to think. So I just was
Yeah,
curious for those
because
questions.
I'm like, okay, well, there's food and fish and drinks on the island, so I don't need those. But and I don't want my cell phone. I don't. You can have America can have that. So I'm like, I want my dog. So I'm like, okay, all right, pants, another pair of pants, I guess. I don't know, a change of outfit, body wash, that'd be great. The
Essentials.
necessities. Yeah, the critical.
What
I guess
is
if that answers that.
No, it does. I like I said, anytime I ask that question, I'm like, no, it doesn't matter what you're saying. I'm just curious to see what people say. If uh anybody came to you for advice about what they could do into wrestling, but it's because we're in Black History Month. If a black girl came to you and said, "What is some advice you have for me if I wanted to get into wrestling?" What would you tell that little girl?
I would tell her that, like, remember that you're a warrior. I literally have it tattooed on my arm. Don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I can. That's awesome.
Um, Thank you. From the mental health. So, like, that's something that I hold deep to myself is like, know that you're a warrior inside. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, because if you couldn't do it, you wouldn't be here. Um, if this was easy, everyone would do it. And then I would say, know who you are and stay true to who you are, because when you don't, that's when things get crazy. Um, and then I would just say, like, just go for it, like, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna suck, you're gonna have ups and downs, but as long as you don't quit, then like you're gonna make it. And that's what it is. Like, as soon as things get really, really, really tough and really hard in life, like, just overall, that's when good things happen. So as soon as you think you're about to break, know that something good's right around the corner. That's what I tell them.
I love that. That's such great advice.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it's like the typical, like, I just did it. And it's like, yeah, it's when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's everyone says that, but it's so true. Like, just do it. Like, just go do it. And if this is your path, God's gonna make it your path. You know what I mean? Or whoever you believe in. Like, the world and life is going to make it your path.
Yeah.
So that's how I take that, as far as like control what you can control. And if you can't control it, don't worry about it.
Nice. So my
Yeah.
last question for you is, what what would you say to the ladies of the WOW locker room? Like, what are you gonna like? What is that one thing you would let them know going forward for 2025?
Literally, I'm just setting the roster ablaze. Like, that's it. I'm setting it on fire. So either be with me or get out of my way. Like, I know that's so like thing, like girl to say, but it's like I would love for you guys to be side by side with me. But if you're not, you're gonna get burned, because like I have goals, and like I said to like that young girl, if you have goals, it's you versus you, okay, sis? So like it's me versus me. I'm going for it. No matter if it ends good, if it ends bad, whatever happens, like game on. So that's all I can say to the women's locker room is like, be with me or be in my way.
No, I respect that. I always tell people I will burn stuff down like all the time. Not person like, what happened? I got this be burnt. Like, I understand. I definitely can understand that burning it down or burning if you have to get through something to get to your goal. I like that. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on and talking with me. This has been so fun.
I
When
love
you
it. I'm telling you, I was so excited to do this interview. I was like, yes, yay.
I'm gonna tell Stephanie's after, like, girl, she watches who did. Like, it's always nice when we hear the WoW superheroes who actually watched the show, but it's just really nice because we were like a lot of people watched WoW because of our show. They were telling us like we didn't even know, and I'm
Oh,
like, yeah, the show is great. Like watch it, and
yeah.
there's so many ways to get access to the episodes or the matches, and so it's always really cool. We find out somebody from the show is watching, like, and so this is really thank you, truly.
Of course, I love it. I really do. Like, you guys are doing great. I'm very proud of both of you. Like, and it was crazy because the first one I saw, someone sent it to me, and I watched it, and you guys knew a lot about me, and I was like, how do they know about me? So then I started watching more and more of your guys' episodes, and I literally, as soon as it comes out on YouTube, like our matches, I am clicking every other day waiting for you guys to upload your videos. Like, I'm on it like that with you guys. So like, I am here. I support it. You guys are doing great. I'm very proud of both of you, for real.
Oh, thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you. No, that's really we've been a little bit off with the weeks because of like her work schedule, my work schedule's been off, but I know we're doing a double episode, I think, tomorrow. So we're covering the last 2 weeks. So it should be cool. But
Hey, yes.
can you tell everybody where they can find and follow you?
Yeah, so you can find me on X and on Instagram under Ashley Blaze _wow. So those will be the places that you can get in contact with me, tag me in anything, tag me in videos, comments, whatever you want. That will be the way to get me to respond and for me to see everything. Other than that, if you see anything else online, it's fake. It's not me, I promise. Like the YouTubes, the TikToks, all of that other stuff. So it is @AshleyBlaze_wow.
Nice. And again, thank you, Ashley, so much. Thank you guys who watched the show. We are truly grateful for you guys. Definitely don't forget to check out Steph and Cat Talk while we're on both my channel and Cat We Trust and the Hardy Wrestling Podcast of Stephanie Hardy, who cannot be here. But this was such a fun chat. I had such a great time. And so thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've had a blast.
Till next time, guys, links will be in the description. Bye.